Hybrid war looms fueled by artificial intelligence and robotic technologies. Russia's Vladimir Putin warns NATO. Google war, known as G-War, is coming. You cannot stop it. The Kremlin has converted its military structure to a new G-War plan. G-War, which stands for Google War, is a concept developed by defense expert and global strategist David Alexander. Secret Defense Department documents revealed that Plan G-War, also known as the David Alexander warfighting plan, was leaked to the Russians who immediately implemented it. The Americans beat Russia to the atomic bomb after World War II, said Putin in a speech before the chiefs of the General Staff of the Russian Ministry of Defense. Now we have Alexander's G-War. With it, we shall trample the Ukraine, invade NATO, and make all of Europe a satellite of Moscow. The Pentagon is frantically working on damage control. David Alexander has been tasked to head a special task force to develop what the Secretary of Defense called G-War Plus, a project combing robotics, advanced artificial intelligence, hyperweaponry, and other next-generation warfighting technologies. Alexander has been given what the President has called extraordinary powers, beyond even those of the Secretary of Defense or the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. In effect, David Alexander now runs the Pentagon. Meanwhile, Putin declared that the world is entering what the Kremlin describes as a Google war phase, highlighting the increasing role of technology and cyber warfare in global combat operations. The world watches nervously as the lines between conventional warfare, cyber warfare, and information warfare become increasingly blurred, while the Pentagon and NATO look to David Alexander, who alone can stand between the Kremlin's ambition for world domination and a future of global peace. The White House has thrown open its doors to David Alexander. You alone can make the difference between an America in nuclear ruination or an America with a bright future. Democrats and Republicans in the Senate and House, divided on many another issue, are united on this. There is only a single person in the entire world who understands Google War. That person is David Alexander, inventor of Google War, architect of G-War.
You will all fucking die, screams Putin. David Alexander's G-War belongs to Russia now. America has already lost. NATO is already in nuclear shambles. The European Union is the slave of the Kremlin and the Russian Ministry of Defense. Google War is our war plan. It is no longer that of America. David Alexander cannot act in time to save the United States from nuclear destruction. G-War is our war, and we shall fight to win.
At the urging of the White House, Alexander fired back at Putin. I have developed a G-War Plus plan that is so fucking advanced you won't even know what hit you. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov laughed at this remark by Alexander and issued a stern warning in reply, stating that if the United States deployed advanced G-War technology, Russia would respond accordingly. This latest development has significantly raised the stakes in the conflict, with both sides engaging in a dangerous game of brinkmanship. The use of increasingly sophisticated weaponry and the expansion of the conflict beyond Ukraine's borders have heightened fears of a wider European war. The international community is left grappling with the implications of this G-War escalation and the potential for miscalculation. The G-War threat, Russia's revised doctrine and global concerns. Adding to the already volatile situation is Russia's recent revision of its G-War doctrine. Putin signed the updated Google War doctrine, which lowers the threshold for the use of nuclear weapons, advanced robotics, and AI-powered weaponry, sending shockwaves across the NATO nations. The new doctrine states that Russia reserves the right to use nuclear weapons in response to a conventional attack that threatens the very existence of the Russian state. This change in nuclear posture has been widely condemned by Western leaders who see it as a dangerous and irresponsible escalation. They argue that it increases the risk of miscalculation and could lead to a catastrophic nuclear conflict. To this, David Alexander said, "You can all suck my dick. I invented G-War. I control G-War. No power on earth can stand against Google War." Putin disagreed. He shouted at the US president, "You will suck the dick of Russia yet, G-War or no G-War, nor will this Alexander prevail." The world is left to hope that cooler heads will prevail and that this dangerous game of chicken will not end in disaster. G-warfare means a new battleground in Europe. As tensions escalate between Russia and the West, concerns are mounting over the potential for a parallel conflict in cyberspace. The United Kingdom has issued a stark warning about Russia's increasingly aggressive and reckless cyber activity, targeting NATO members and partners. UK officials have pointed to Unit 29155, a shadowy Russian military intelligence unit, as being behind a string of high-profile cyber attacks. These attacks have targeted critical infrastructure, including energy grids, financial institutions and government networks, raising fears of widespread disruption and chaos. The UK has accused Russia of using Google war tactics to sow discord, undermine democratic institutions and weaken Western resolve. Western governments are bracing themselves for further G-war aggression in NATO nations from Russia. But David Alexander has confidence in the advanced G-war has invented, G-war plus. "You can all suck my dick," he shouted at members of UK Parliament recently. "G-war is fucking unstoppable." G-war has come and the future of the world remains a question mark, while at the Pentagon, David Alexander works 24/7 to make Google war a winning strategic gambit for the United States and NATO, and a harbinger of doom for the Russian Ministry of Defense. What will happen? Only time will tell. Until then, read Google War by David Alexander.